What's up guys, welcome back to the official Triton YouTube channel. My name's Connor. We got a good one for you today. This is my DMR build. This is a Daniel Defense MK12. Before we dig into it though, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. When this channel hits 10,000 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway over on Instagram. So go ahead and go down below, click that link to follow us on Instagram as well. With that out of the way, let's get into this rifle. So just as a general disclaimer before we dig into this rifle, this is not technically a designated marksman rifle. We're not going to get into the specifics of all that. This is really just a AR-15 platform that I have built out for longer range shooting, and I want to share that with you guys. So with that out of the way, let's talk about this build itself. Starting here at the back with the stock, you'll probably notice that I swapped out the Daniel Defense stock for a B5 stock. I really just don't like the rubbery feel on that stock. I don't like it how it feels on my cheek. So threw that thing in the garbage and we put a B5 on it. Moving forward from the stock, we do have this ambidextrous charging handle, which I really just like the feel of it. It's super beefy. You don't have to yank and pull and find just the right way to get this thing to pull out. We do have an ambidextrous safety on here, so just like the charging handle either side. Moving on down to the grip here, I could take it or leave it. There's really nothing to write home about. But something that is pretty special about this build is the Geissele two-stage trigger, which comes with the MK12. This setup is more for longer range, more calculated shots. It's not for ripping through drills. That two-stage trigger is nice for that purpose. Moving up just above the trigger, something I like to do on all of my AR platforms is anti-walk trigger pins. This is a super easy modification to make that just prevents these little trigger pins right here from walking out on you. That could be a catastrophic failure with whatever you're doing when you're trying to run your rifle. So moving forward from the lower up here to the rail, the first thing I notice is the abundance of QD points. We've got one right here in the middle. We actually have another one up front. We've got it covered up, that's okay. We have another one here on the back on our B5 stock. So all in all, that's several different options if you so desire to run a sling. Moving on up with our rail here, you'll notice this rubber coating that's kind of signature Daniel Defense rubber on the rail. I don't have to worry about my hands getting burnt though when I'm shooting a lot because of this rubber coating. My hands aren't directly on the metal. I can grab onto this rubber coating. So that's really nice. Moving up top here, as I already mentioned, there's a whole load of Picatinny all across the top of the rifle, which right here, attached to that Picatinny, we do have the pressure pad for our Streamlight flashlight. I love running a flashlight on all my guns. It's just really nice to have that versatility of being able to see in the dark. On the other side here, adjacent to the flashlight, I do have a laser. Again, this is more of a sniper rifle type build. It's not built out for short range, running around making 25 to 50 yard shots. Now, moving all the way up to the front here with the barrel. This is a cold hammer forged barrel. That is really nice because it can take a load of abuse compared to a regular barrel. So however many rounds you want to shoot through this thing, whatever you want to do with it, this barrel can endure probably whatever abuse you can imagine. As a whole though, Daniel Defense built this rifle out specifically to sort of stretch the limits of what is commonly believed for 5.56, 223 type calibers. It does have an 18-inch barrel, which can increase that velocity of your rounds. This I built out specifically to hit those 500 plus yard shots, which is not super common with AR-15 type platform rifles. So to help me stretch my legs out with this rifle, up top I went with a Triton Hyperion 3 to 18 by 50 first focal plane long range scope. To go over that just a little bit, starting in the back here, the ocular lens can be adjusted super easily to dial that focus in. We do have our magnification adjustment. I do have this on a cantilever mount. It's just what fit the build, nothing specific about that mount. And up top here, this is one of my favorite features of the Optic itself. This is your elevation and your windage adjustment. A lot of people get hung up on whether they need caps or whether these things can just spin freely. I like what Triton has done here because it sort of shoots the gap between the two options. The way you adjust your elevation, and same goes for your windage here, is you actually pop these guys up. And now I can super easily just click through any adjustments I need to make. Again, same goes for that windage. It pops out and I just simply twist, make those adjustments, pop it back in, and it holds whatever adjustment I need to make. Moving to the other side of the Optic, there are two adjustment rings here. The outer one being the illuminated reticle brightness adjustment. There's 6 different settings, which can be really nice if you're shooting in maybe dusky conditions or when it's like a little bit foggy outside and you just want to brighten up that reticle a little bit. Looking at that inner ring on this side, that is your parallax adjustment. That can be adjusted from 20 yards all the way out to infinity. So plenty of opportunity to dial in your focus there when taking any sort of long range shot. Last but not least, we do have a 50mm objective lens, which is going to give you a nice wide field of view at any magnification level. Speaking of magnification level, this is a first focal plane optic. I specifically chose that because I want to stretch my legs a little bit with this setup. First focal plane versus second focal plane. Both are good, both are fine, but first focal plane will allow you to have accurate holdovers at any magnification level. This is a 3:18 scope. There's a lot of different magnification levels in there. I could be taking shots at multiple different magnification levels. I wanted my holdovers to be accurate, and that's why I went with first focal plane. You might already have a second focal plane optic and not even realize it. I had one for years and didn't know. So I might be taking shots with this at 100 yards or at 500 yards. And either way, I wanted my holdovers to be accurate. Now, let's talk about as a whole who this setup would be good for and maybe what it wouldn't be good for. So as I mentioned, I built this rifle out for longer range shooting. It's not designed to run around and do drills and rip off a bunch of shots. I can tell even Daniel Defense had that in mind. So you'll probably see in the B-roll some footage of me fumbling around with this thing, attempting to do some short range drills. And I think that kind of attests to what Daniel Defense actually had in mind with this rifle. It's big and heavy. It's got a long 18-inch barrel. And that just goes to show you that this is not meant to run drills with. It's meant to be a long range setup. Like I said, I've got it as a DMR setup, but let me know down in the comments what your long range shooting setup is. And also let me know what you would change on my rifle. We all know that rifles and pistols and anything in our gun collection, it's sort of a continuing, always changing project. I know for this setup specifically down the road, I'd love to throw a Radian charging handle on here and probably swap that grip down the road, but that's going to be quite a big project and quite an undertaking. And of course, I want to throw a suppressor on it, but got to wait until we have the money and the budget for a suppressor. With that being said, thank you guys very much for taking the time to watch the video here today. If you haven't already, go down below, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.